right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Welcome to Thursday night streaming. Hello, Missy. Thanks for being here. So tonight's stream is kind of fun, and I am very excited to show you all this. So I'm just going to kind of run into it here. Oh, whoops. Hang on. Nope. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Stop it. I forget that I have to open this up to pop the chat out, and then I always forget to close the video. So anyway, yes. So today, I'm going to build camera, build with instructions. We're going to be building the Behemoth, because this was what was voted on the channel. I got all the parts for it, so it's going to be fun going through all this to make sure it actually all works. And it's all there, and it all fits, and none of it falls apart. In the meantime, this is a little farther away. I wanted to show you a couple things that I've already built because I couldn't wait. We've got a couple of the smaller horse models. This is the Broadhead. It's got the big, like Watusi Longhorn kind of thing. It's still technically like a horse model, but it's got these big horns on the side of it. I don't like the way there's two blaze canisters on the back of that, and so it makes that little thing go around it really kind of not work very well, but it works okay. The second of the three that got done is the Charger. The third one is the Strider, and we already have this. I already have the Strider. So this is the Charger. It's got big horns, like a bighorn sheep kind of thing. It's got two eyes in the front, but it's still got the same legs on the side there. This is getting in the way. I'm going to hide this for just a second. Where'd it go? Just for a second, so you can kind of see this better. So there's the Charger. Turned out pretty well, I thought. This is another model of the, let's see, it was the Grazer, and I can't think of the other one, the Lancehorn. So I've already done the Lancehorn. This is the Grazer. This is actually one that you encounter earlier than the Lancehorn. It uses these big horns on top to basically turn its head over and till in the ground. And then it stores everything in these canisters. So this was a friend of mine in our lug. This was their idea to use these bionicle claw things as the back legs, and they worked really well. So there's two of these that look very similar. That's the second one. Here's the second version of this kind of same cat, big cat. This is a Ravager, and the other one that was the same kind of model is the Sawtooth, but they're basically the same thing. They've got a kind of a big joint in the middle and big strong front part of their body, scary looking head and mouth, and then they've got this kind of laser cannon up top here. Yeah, so there's that one. I like that one a lot. And then this one I didn't think it was going to work at all. The long leg. It is supposed to be kind of an ostrich looking thing. And I didn't really think it was going to work. I thought it was the center of gravity was too off. I didn't think the neck things were going to work. It is a little fragile. Those whips are being held on by those clips up on the head, and then they poke through to hold the binoculars. And then they attach down on those like big air sacs in the front. But the tension is a little much, and those things come right off. So I try not to play with it too much, but I think it works pretty well. And then the pièce de résistance, and I'm going to try to hold it so it doesn't go everywhere, is the Stormbird. This turned out really good. It actually just sits on a little tower over here. Pretty well. This thing is pretty massive, and I just lost my camera. Awesome. So give me a second. You can take a look at that. It froze right in there, so that's pretty good. I'm hoping that it doesn't freeze all night and I have to restart OBS, because that would suck. So as you can see, before I start messing with the camera, it's a good size, and I got it to where the tension on the wings was enough to kind of hold it in place in a nice position, so they're not popping off everywhere. It may be a little scarce on the wings. I know the wings on the real model tend to be a bit thicker, but I think this is just the right amount of size on these hinges so it doesn't fall over. The legs are good in the back. The tail's this big bushy thing in the back that it used effectively. The head, I think, worked out really well. I'm very, very happy with it. And you can see, I'm going to try to hold it up. It just sits on this little stand really nicely, and you can see how big it is compared to Aloy. So it's fairly large. It just kind of rests in here like this. I don't know if I'm going to make that any stronger. It's stable enough, but so I'm going to go move this real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm going to move all these other guys, get them out of the way, because we're going to start working on the Behemoth. I don't think I can carry more than... Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see if we can get this camera working. Super happy that died on me. Window capture works. Should. So we can bring that up at least. Does that still work? Yes. So this is table cam. Turn that off and back on. Nope. Let's switch it and see if it can find it again. There we go. Okay. Easy enough. Good deal. Yeah, so really, really excited about that Stormbird. It's the second biggest animal in the game so far. And I'm really glad that well, no. I guess technically analog, because the Deathbringer really isn't an animal of any kind. So yeah, I'm really glad that it worked out. So that we're working on the Behemoth. This is one of the larger of the what is called the resource gatherers. It kind of uses its drills in its mouth here to dig in the ground, and then if I remember the lore correctly, other creatures will bring its like the biomass fuel, and then it stores it in this big container, and then it takes this big container back to the cauldrons, where it is used to then build more machines. So that's the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, is that there's these robots that are animal types. The AI that built them to sort of mimic the current or the animals that did exist, because the program kind of wiped out all the animals. So it made some that kind of looked like they used to. And there are three main kinds. I think it's 4 total. There are there's resource collection, there's combat, and then there's these ones called chariot. And the chariots are their originating designer was different, which is why they're categorized as different. But this is going to be a lot of pieces, and I'm hoping I've got enough room to knoll them all out and work on the model at the same time. So this is going to be interesting because I don't have any instructions to go from, so I'm making this up as I go. But the best way to do this, and how I've designed most of these, is that I'm able to kind of take off like the sides. So if you come in here and kind of take this and hide it, everything, you'll be able to see kind of like the basic construction. So we can start by doing some basic construction up in here, make sure it's all put together correctly. And I may run into, because I'm already looking at things that don't look quite right, but we'll see how it all goes together. So how's everyone doing? How's your Thursday? I hope you're doing well. I was going to go on a rant about Uber Eats tonight because we ordered dinner, and of course Uber Eats messed up the order because I think that's their business model. We ordered sushi, and then Beth ordered they're called Dons or Katsuyas, which is just like kind of a meat with some other stuffed dish. And then I ordered 2 rolls of sushi, and then we ordered some sides. And when I got here, it had all the sides and her dish, but no rolls of sushi. And I'm like, you're getting it from a sushi place. The only thing you really need to look for is if you're getting sushi. And of course, I had to, get credit on the order, and then to call the place and say, hey, I didn't get my order. Can I come back and put in another order to pick it up? And they're like, I don't understand. Did you not get it? We gave them both bags. I'm like, I know. I only got one though. So it was kind of a nightmare. Anyway. But I got my food. I got it all eaten. So we're going to start with the 2x8 plate right in the middle. And I'm just going to start building. I'm not going to narrate everything that's going on, but if you have any questions about what's happening, feel free to ask. Doing well. Good. It's good to hear. I've got tomorrow off, so this is kind of a Friday for me. 2x4s. It's going to be a lot of times when I'm trying to separate some of these parts. They get a little hard to find when there's just little parts. 1x1 pieces of something tend to be a little harder to find, so there may be a time when I take a little break to just try to figure that all out. Some of it may appear off camera. I've also found out that despite my best efforts in sorting and buying and everything, I'm ending up with a lot of extra, so I don't know how that's going. But anyway, very excited to get this done. If I get it done really quick, not really quick. If I have some time this weekend, I think I may also, yeah, I'm a little worried about this head. This is a giant head, and it's only being held on here by one clip. So maybe it'll just, I don't mind if it lowers and then runs into something and it just sits there. I don't care about that. Once I'm done with this, I'm probably going to finish the other 3, but I may do Sunday. I'll pick one of the other 2 remaining. The Deathbringer or the Trampler. I may do the Trampler and then on my own, and then we'll stream the Deathbringer. Hi, Johnny. How's it going? I can already tell my voice is going to give out. Went to the TIFO rigging the other day. And TIFO rigging means, I'll walk you through it because I got nothing else to talk about really. A TIFO, for those that don't know, is a large banner. It's an Italian word. It's based off an Italian word that means fervor or fandom fanatic kind of thing, but like embracing the fan community kind of thing is what it's turned into with soccer. And a TIFO is basically a giant banner that's raised at the beginning of the game. So Austin FC fan group that I'm in, the supporter group, Los Verdes, usually has a TIFO going up once a month, or more, maybe once every 2 months. So we were doing our rigging last night. What's up, Cliff? Long day working on the dyno. So rigging means that the stadium has, in the supporter section, big section of seats. You look up, and it's covered in roof, and the roof goes all the way around the stadium. If you've seen the Q2 build that I've made, you know what I'm talking about. So ropes go up from part of the seats. They go over the bottom, or they go over the bottom of the roof, and then, or the catwalk, and then they come down kind of in front of the supporter section. So we can attach something to pulleys and ropes there, and then from up top we pull this up, and it just raises up like a big curtain. There's a very large net, and I can't describe how big it is. It's maybe 100 feet by 100 feet. It's fairly large. And then you put the TIFO on top of it, which the TIFO is basically really wide strips of muslin that have been stitched together and then painted on, and then grommets all the way around it. And then you zip tie the grommets to the net, right? And then you hoist the whole thing up. So last night was we get it all taped down. We attach it to the net, and we practice raising and lowering it. So it goes from about 6 to like 10, and it was raining off and on. So we had to like rush on some parts, which is really what you want to do when you're trying to be careful about folding things. But it all worked out. And let's see if I can just keep building a little bit, because I know we've got a long way to go. I'll make sure. If you're not already aware of the greatness that is these old, they're like, I used to call them like engine blasters, but they're kind of old Futuron pieces. They are like early snot bricks, I think, before we really had a lot of Travis bricks and the like. They are 2/3 height brick with studs all the way around. Then, of course, they've got like the shoot blaster camera, whatever you wanted. I think a lot of times they were used for TV cameras, but they're also great snot bricks if you're looking to flip the direction of something. I'm trying to find a 2x2 plate. Yeah, so you can get tiles with rolls of like camera rolls on the side. So I have run into, when I was doing the Stormbird, I don't know if you guys saw the Stormbird. I'll bring it back out later if y'all want. I realized that there were parts that I was like, yeah, I've got millions of those, and I didn't actually put it in the thing, which is what I'm finding now is I don't see a 2x2 plate. So that may be one I overlooked, and I'm gonna go grab it real quick. And I heard something get knocked off over here, so. Oh, you missed what I got on Tuesday that you saw the pics on Insta, though. Yeah, you got that space stuff, right? You found all that space stuff at a thrift shop? All right, so these are going on underneath. Lines up pretty well. And then just a tile. Right. And then what's on top here? We got 8. So I'm gonna hide. Everything goes. Yeah, I saw the pics. That looks like a nice collection of space stuff. Nice collection of space stuff you got there. Be a shame if someone messed with it. 2x4s all over the place. I only have 2 of them in here. I have to go get another 2x4. Yeah, you'd think that'd be the easier ones to get. There's a bunch of 2x3s. Space Command Center, just missing a few basic blue bricks. Awesome. I don't think there's anything else under here. Nope. Can I re-hide? Thank you. So these go there. Ooh, I only gave these guys... Okay. It was not smart of me to only give these... this giant thing... small joint, mixel joint legs instead of big old click joint legs. So that's not good. That's going to be a 1 by arch or bracket, and then a 2 by 2 plate. That's got to be a good feeling, though, finding bricks like that where you're like, yeah. Or finding sets like that where it's a good deal on top of being nostalgic. So this is a little smaller than I thought, like, the initial front part of the body is going to be. So the back body is only going to be about that much bigger. The head itself is going to be huge. I'm really hoping that I did not, like, the weight distribution isn't a problem, but I guess we'll see. And then another one of those brackets. And then we got up on top here. 2x6 plate. Hold it all in place. Bob's your uncle. That's actually pretty basic stuff. I know I struggled with this, but now I'm trying to remember why I struggled with it so mightily. Corner. Another one of those. Huh, nothing under there. Okay. So my fear with all of these models is that I get to a very structural point and it's not an easy piece and it's not in here. That's my fear. There's nothing under there. Why did I not put anything under there? All right, so I'm going to put a couple. We've got extra pieces over here that I'm just going to put like some 1x1s or something. Because I don't want it to fall apart. Not to mention the fact that it's a classic set. Like, you would think... So did you pay... I don't care that if you tell me how much you paid for it, but did you pay for it? Or was it like you just found it and they were like, yeah, we don't really know what it is, so you can have it for like $5 or something. And you're like, sold. I will take that off your hand for $5. I could probably add, oh my God. Okay, so something's going on with either the mouse or the program, but like the right click drag has been so finicky lately, and I'm about to come unglued with it. Like, it keeps wanting to bring up the right mouse click menu. It's just not behaving very well, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. Replace the battery in the mouse and everything just in case. Okay. I seem to have a lot of these, so we'll pull these aside. Got a couple of those, a couple of these. Trying to organize a little bit. Not really part color, but at least part type. I know these guys aren't going to be used till later. To make the big old cylinder. Got a lot of bananas in here. Got some dark blue bananas. In case you were wondering, bananas do come in dark blue. They do come in dark blue. In case you were curious. Yeah, I'm a little worried that I think I only got 4 or 2 of these phone handles, but I know I need 4 of them. So I don't know how that's going to work. Because I only see 2, and I don't know why I thought I had 2. Unless they're in a bag somewhere else. All right, well, that may be a problem. I may have to order some phone handset receivers. And I don't think they're that cheap. I don't know why I thought I had more. Let's go back and look at the list. Okay. I'm not finding the plates I need for some reason. And this may be, already starting off on a bad foot. Like there's 2 regular corner plates in black that I'm not finding. Oh no, just a plate. That's why. Okay. Whew, I was like, come on, man. I just started. Don't need those at all, turns out. But I do need these. So this is just putting stuff on the side to make it look greebly. So I'm not a knolling type person usually. I'm just so excited to get to building. See right there, that little, it won't move, it jitters, and then it brings up the menu. And I'm like, that's not what I want at all. I'm so excited to get things built that I don't have the patience to like separate all these out. It's only after I get frustrated and can't find stuff that I'm like, fine. But for the most part, I can just see. There's not that many parts. I can just see what I need. So dinos are coming along good. Got yourself a new space, old space, new to you space set. What else is going on? Is that got a thing under it? Plate round. Yeah, I'm super bummed I didn't get... I don't think they're integral in holding anything together, but they just look good. So I can get one side to look okay with just the two, but I'm gonna have to order 2 more. I don't know what I was thinking. That's always frustrating. Kind of start the whole model out with like a bad taste in your mouth. You're like, well, now that sucks. So I'm going to hang on to putting those things on just yet. So there's a big old fat cylinder that goes under here. I guess I'll do that next. But I could probably do the legs and back and stuff first as well. And these guys going, let's put this on. And then these guys. Heavy work on the T-Rex. Dude, so I've been trying to submit. Here's some news for you. Or whatever you want to call it. I've been trying to submit a thing for the back in time. Let's turn back the clock. Build challenge from Lego Ideas. And wow, that's really it, isn't it? The rest of this is so up in the head area. So I got the photo I have of the Gunstar from the last Starfighter, and I was like, this will be perfect. These are gross gray too. Maybe I can switch these out. Can I get new ones? Those are ugly. And put the photo with the renders that I have of it. And I thought, this is a good photo. The renders are high quality. I will go ahead and submit that. And a couple days later, because they usually say give us a couple days, I got a rejection email that says it's not, the photo's not great. It's clipping part of it off or something. The photo's not a high quality. It's not centered around the whole thing. And I'm like, geez, I feel like it was a form letter that they sent, because I was like, it's a microfighter. There's 80 pieces, you know? So I didn't want to make a stink about it. So I was just like, fine, I'll resubmit it. I'll break out my light box and I'll do a lot of really nice high quality photos. I'll put it on a black background so it's easy to see, all this stuff, right? Then I got back, so I resubmitted. Then it was that the background was too distracting. And I'm like, it's on a black background, but I think what they mean is there was like a reflection. The material that I was using for the background, which comes with the light tent, was too much of a distraction. There was a reflection. I was like, fine. So I was like, well, I guess I could do it in all white, but why don't I just do, part of the other thing was it wasn't high resolution enough. I'm like, man, I've got a Pixel phone. These are some of the best photo phones in the world. Sure, it's low resolution. Once you upload it via a website, it all changes to 72 DPI. It doesn't matter, right? You're viewing it via a monitor on a screen, so I can send them whatever I want. So I was like, fine. So I spent the next day just rendering, just picking a bunch of different poses of the ship in Studio and re-rendering it and making sure it was the right aspect ratio and doing all this stuff. And I submitted. I'm like, okay, this has got to be it. And I got a thing back saying that the photos were too blurry, or they were not high resolution enough. And I'm like, I did it on the software at the highest resolution. Like, I don't know what you want at this point. They rather just say this doesn't fit, or we're not doing a microfighter or something, right? Versus all these little bitty technical things. And I'm like, come on, don't do it's a technical thing and then not tell me what technical thing it is. Like, due to the influx of whatever, we can't get into much more detail than these things. And I'm like, well, then you're not helping. Like, I'm just going to spin my wheels and keep not getting, approve it or deny it based upon its content. Don't do it because I don't, I'm following all the rules and the guidelines, but if you're not willing to help me understand what I'm doing wrong, I can't fix it. Well, we'd love to help you, but we're just too busy. And I'm like, ugh. Just say you don't want a stupid little Star Wars or a little microfighter, and I'll be done with it. So it's a little frustrating. So I've submitted it. In fact, I can look and see if I've got an email back from him yet or not. I probably won't till tomorrow. Yeah, because I submitted it pretty late for Denmark. So we'll see. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think it's going to get through. So, and I abused my power a little bit. On the LAN, there was a guy who basically is sort of the, he lets people know about what's happening with the ideas challenges. And he's like, if you have any questions, just message me and let me know. And I'm like, I got a question. I didn't want to, and I told him, I was like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to like abuse I'm an ambassador power, but I feel like if any of my other lug members were doing this and they had a problem, I'd go to you too. So I don't feel super bad about it. But I was like, what am I doing wrong? Here are the pictures. What am I doing wrong? And hopefully he'll be able to come back with some useful ways to improve. Tomorrow, I think I'm just going to run through it again. And there's settings on Studio where if you go to render it, you can see it in here. There's high and very high. So I'm going to try very high next time. I don't know what else to do with it. I might take out the shadow because when he renders, it puts a base under it. But I was looking at all the other entries, and they all look exactly the same that I was doing. UV degradation, that's off, so I don't have anything to worry about there. Scratches, maybe I take the scratches off because it's small. I don't know what else would make it not be in focus, though. That's the thing. I'm like, I don't... How do you get out of focus with a render? All right, I got sidetracked. I was looking for this piece. Oh, and that piece is not going to work. Oh, there's something else in between here. Plate 1x2 or 2x2. Okay, so there's another plate in there, which means I got to go get another plate. It's so weird that I didn't include those. So Johnny, when you get yours done, be prepared to go back and forth a little bit. And I know that since you're building yours, it might be a little difficult to get a good image of it if you're taking a picture of it. Because I thought having it like in a light tent would be ideal, right? There's nothing behind it. There's nothing distracting. I don't know. So anyway, just a heads up, you might have to do a little back and forth with that. Okay, so the head is very thin, but it's got a lot going on. So I'm trying to decide. I think I want to do that next. Actually, or do I want to do the butt first? Might be better to do the butt first because then I can kind of put it down. So let's see, what are these? Let's do that. So I got that going, and I've got brackets, and what is this piece? 2x6. So they don't tell you what DPI they're looking for. They don't tell you what file type. I think they accept JPEGs and PNGs, but I mean, they don't say send us a 300 DPI resolution image. They just say they think size and dimension is resolution. And they just said, so it's a low res image. It's like, well, what does that mean? What kind of resolution do you need? Tell me and I'll make it work. yeah, so went through that, which is frustrating because you're like, it felt like being back in, and this is me being a little throwback, a little too open, a little psychological, but it felt like when I was a kid, I played a lot of soccer, and I was pretty good at it. And I played for, a rec league or a city league or whatever they are. And so, like, all my friends, there was an opportunity to go play at this tournament in California. And because we had qualified or we did pretty well, and I hang on to this day, and my parents have no idea what it is. Like, I explained it to them, and they're like, I don't remember that at all. Now that I'm a parent, I'm like, yeah, that happens. The whole team went. I didn't go. My parents couldn't afford it. And I don't know if it was that they couldn't afford it, like, for real, or they're just like, I don't think that's something we need to invest in. Like, I don't, like, it's okay. You say you're pretty good, but let's be real about this. It's not trip to California good, but they may have just not been able to swing it. I don't know. They sure as heck were able to swing braces later. So I'm like, what changed? Would have rather gone to California to compete in this soccer tournament, but whatever. But that still sticks with me. And I feel like not being able to participate in an ideas thing because you don't have the right photography skills is kind of crappy. It makes me feel also like when I was auditioning for Lego Masters, and they're like, could you get a better shirt? Like, okay. Oh, look what I found. I don't need them. That's right. I had 2 old gray ones, and I ordered 2 new gray ones. That's what it was. Whew. That makes me feel so much better. Now I just need a tile. So I'm separating stuff out in order to find a tile. Just one little quarter tile somewhere. I had the gear somewhere else. But yeah, it's that same feeling of you didn't make it because you weren't good enough. You made it because of some small technical reason, or sorry you couldn't afford to go to this thing because it was too hard for your parents to come up with the money. It's like, that's kind of a crappy way to kill someone's dreams, Yeah, that might be pretty good, but because of technical reason, you're not gonna get it. It's like, okay. Anyway, again, that's probably a little oversharing, but I always feel a bit burned when stuff like that comes up. Using the entire table to spread pieces out here. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep submitting until I get it right, or until somebody tells me exactly what I'm doing wrong. Until the deadline. I'll be like, all right, well, I submitted till the deadline. You guys never really told me what I was doing wrong. Oh, God. I'm just going to, there's an extra piece over here. I'm just going to take that. And I've seen, like, the other contestant entries, and they're no better or worse than what I submitted. Like, that's the part that's really throwing me, is I'm like, but the images look just as good, I feel. Dark orange. So I'm very unclear about what I'm doing wrong. That's the bracket, and then back here is going to be something else. A bracket back there. So I wish you luck, Johnny. I know your idea is probably more involved than mine, and I bet it's probably got a better chance of making it because it's a play thing, it's a playable thing, it's a movement thing. It's going to be really rad. I want to make, I hope something doesn't screw you over technically like that, where they're like, I'm sorry, that's a really good idea, but that wasn't taken with a Canon SLR or something, Two of those right in a row. Okay. Ooh, yesterday's Ben wasn't thinking very favorably on today's Ben by putting two 2x4 plates right on top of each other. Followed up by a bunch of jumper plates. Let's see, what else is going on? So we've got the X-Men is still going on. I did this wrong somehow. Oh no, they're not right on top of each other. Doop, doop. Nope, that's right. 2, 2, and then 3. Right next to that. Okay. And Clone Bad Batch penultimate episode in which, well, let me say, who here is watching Bad Batch and is not caught up? I don't want to ruin anything. Raise your hand if you're watching Bad Batch. I don't think anybody in here is. I know Vab said he's not going to do it. I don't know about Johnny. Pretty sure Missy isn't, but we'll get a show of hands before we do anything else. 2x3. 1x3. 1x3. Why did I do that? 1x3, 1x3. Doesn't make any sense, but okay. I have the pieces here, just roll with it. All right, so I wanted a 3 wide there, so I had to put a bunch of jumpers underneath it. Hopefully it doesn't affect stability, but this isn't a load-bearing section. This is just going to be sort of it's the top of the beast, and it's cool-looking section, so it's not going to require or be too what's the word I'm looking for? Reliant on it being very stable. Okay, so 1x3. It just has to look cool. And then what's under there? Nope, that's not what I wanted to hide at all. That. By 3. Also makes for some interesting combinations of pieces. Lego doesn't build a whole lot on the 3s. It does do it, but it's just not as common. One of my favorite things to do in making microfighters is make it 3 wide and put 2 jumpers offset, so the seat for the figure is in the middle still, but it gives you 2 studs to attach the figure to. It works out really well. Yeah, this isn't going to be terribly big. It's going to be about the size of the cats, so the head's probably going to be about that big. So I think it'll be a good size. And there's 2 of these. The Trampler is roughly the same size as this. I'm so pumped to have all these built. And I've got the landscape is coming along swimmingly. I've only got 3 plates to do. The next big thing is going to try to figure out how to attach the big sign, whether or not I even want to do that. That's sort of like a last minute Wasn't really part of the plan. Wasn't really part of the plan. But if it works out, it works out. If not, I can leave it home. I'm not flying anywhere with anything, so I can, I can take multiple trips back and forth between where the convention is and my house and just get everything kind of set up. And if I want to come back and pick up something, I can. So it's kind of a nice feeling. That also means I'm probably not going to take my microfighters just because I've got so much stuff to set up that I don't think I'm going to have time for that. So I got these 2 tubes. I don't know if you can see this. This is kind of a weird call on my part, but I got these tubes instead of bars because I could have got 4 length or even 6 length bars. But I wanted to try something a little different and get these to bend a little bit because these little antenna things on the back, these little sensor clusters on the back of all these animals, all these machines are, they're all like on these wires that kind of drift a little bit. And sag and bend. They're really long, right? And in the images, they look really cool, but there's nothing in Lego that bends like that. Like you get these 3 and 4 bars and they just don't do that. And there's nothing really skinny that will do that either. The closest you can get are fishing poles. They have those like kind of long fishing poles that are very thin. They also have antennas that are, if you remember like Mtron and UFO and stuff, they were the antennas that were like yay long, and they had like an anti-stud on the bottom and then like a ball at the end of it. And they were really cool, and they made things look great when a thing needed a really skinny long antenna. But something like this, it didn't really need to be super skinny and long, but it needed to be bent just a little. So I got these tubes. And they are slightly kind of pricey, but you can see it gives it that nice little kind of curved look to it, which I think works really well. I have a couple other, the downside is they don't work really well with these cones, apparently. I thought they would work better than this, but I guess not. Should be able to go all the way through to the top. They are not, so I gotta be really careful about those and figure out how to get those on there. Okay. And then these guys, all Horizon Zero Dawn animals, machines, have these canisters on them. They, for the most part, they have segments. I don't know if I've talked about this a lot. They have segments that can be shot off. Your character has... There's no way that turns. I guess a little bit. Your character has a bow and arrow, and you also have a spear that you can throw. And it's not a spear, it's like it's a fling or a sling, but it's those ones that have like, they're really long and you kind of like hold the stick with the thing that's going to throw it. And at the last second, you kind of let go of the stick and it's like held onto your hand, right? And it like flings the stick. So it's one of those. You also have like a thing that shoots ropes that ties things down. You have a thing that launches discs and explodey balls and all this kind of stuff. But for the most part, there are sections on each animal or each machine that can be knocked off. And you can go back later after you've defeated it and collect these things and take them back to merchants who will craft out of those items, or you can trade them for things. What happens for the most part is fills up your inventory and you just got to drop them somewhere. But so these canisters, you always get some canisters on their back somewhere. And it's always like their fuel or a bit of explodiness, or it's the thing they use to like create whatever offensive capabilities they have. And you can kind of use it to your advantage. The long legs, like I showed you earlier, so they got these things on the back. The long legs have this giant sack on their chest, and they fill it up with air, and then they can use a concussive blast. Well, if you hit that, right? If you hit it once or twice, nothing. But if you hit it like a third timer with a special arrow, it explodes and everything freezes, right? You can hit other canisters on like the horses, the blaze canisters, and it sets everything on fire. So a great way to help you in your mastery of this game is to use some of these components to your advantage. I think these are all just different logs underneath. You can set things on fire from a distance. You hit it with one of your fire arrows and it sets it on fire, and then you just kind of wait, and you don't have to use ammo, and they'll just run around crazy until it explodes or it burns up and it just keeps taking damage. So in some cases you can use it against them and for you. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so a lot of these are things that can get knocked off. The Thunderjaw, for example, has these giant disc launchers up top on its shoulders, or on its haunches above its hip, I guess. And it launches these discs up into the air, and they freeze, and out of those discs come these lasers, and they, the lasers shoot explosive things against you. But what you can do is you can knock those off. And pick it up like it's your own gun and shoot it back at the large critter. And what is that? A Technic brick. And it takes it out almost instantly when you do it like that. I think I did something wrong. That there. Oh no. Okay. No, I need some plate underneath there. Dark orange. Coming along. I'm also trying to keep mental notes about what worked during the building process, what I have to do early, what you have to build later. So that when it comes time to do instructions, I can kind of remember, yeah, don't do that part first, do that part next. Or I can at least be able to physically hold it and take it apart and build with it. I put that poll up on the channel, and as per usual, somebody's like, yeah, but instructions? I'm like, I don't even have it yet. What do you mean instructions? It's not even built. I was going to replace this. I think I had a big drill bit that I was going to replace this with, so I'm just going to go back and put that in. It's a weird thing. There is actually like a giant gear in the back like that. But to be honest, it looked like a little butthole. And the original idea was to use two of these other small beveled gears, but I ordered a bunch, and I think I want to save them for other machines. All right, for instance, this is a thing now. I'm going to take that. The whole thing needs to come off for that to work. Noted. Yeah, not terribly, but it's definitely the little pink flower behind the tiger. Yeah, poll was up on the the whatever it's called, the community site of my page. All right, so I think I want to build. How intense is this canister? Let's build the canister. So we're going to set this aside. He's going to go aside. Let's go over here. So you can kind of see him still, right? And I think I want to try to build this big old canister. Let's take this guy out and see what we're dealing with. So that's it for under there. I had to keep this all very empty because this canister is kind of a thing. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So that's great. I selected all of it. Please take it all away. Thank you. So it starts with these guys. So we'll do 2 of these together. And then these guys in the middle. Okay. Yeah, the poll was for the Trampler, the Behemoth, the Stormbird, and the Deathbringer. Which one to do next? And the majority wanted... It was actually a tie, shockingly, between the Trampler and the Behemoth, which I thought was weird. I for sure thought Deathbringer was going to be the one to do, and then Stormbird was going to be a close second. Nobody voted for the Stormbird at all. I thought that was really weird, which is why I built it yesterday, because I'm like, oh, did I build it yesterday or today? No, I built it yesterday. So I was like, that is really, that's funky. That's really weird. Just shocking. And I have one of these. So this is a weird thing where it's got like an odd stripe in the middle of the container. So I did my best to kind of make it look like that. I have to keep reminding myself that the closest somebody's going to be to any one of these is going to be about 3 feet. The littlest kid is going to be right on the rope line, and the closest thing is going to be about a foot, maybe 2 feet away from him. So if you're you're going to be standing right about here away from it, to the closest one. It goes back 4 plates after that, or 3 plates after that. So no one's going to look too close at some of these details, but while I'm setting up or when I do Instagram stuff for it later, I want to make sure that it looks good. You know, everybody wants their stuff to look good. All right, so I've got, this is going to be weird because there's nothing in between these. So this is going to be this and that. And I need 2 more of these bricks. I don't see them. Oh, they're there. This is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I remember this being a little more complicated. I can't wait until the landscaping is done, like officially, so I can go back and do the fun parts of it. Like it's fine to get everything in place, you know, the levels and get all the where everybody's going to go, but then it's also a lot of fun to go back and put in little fun things. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. This is not stable at all. These are going to fall off pretty easily. All right, there's your there's your giant canister. So this is another thing you can knock off. Like, it's one of the first things when you encounter a behemoth. You shoot for this thing and it knocks it off, and you get whatever's in the container. So you shoot the thing, it knocks this off, it rolls away. And then when the machine is then dead and you can go collect stuff, you pick this up, and there's things inside it that you can use for research or crafting or whatever. So it just sits under there like that. I think that works pretty well. And then you take one of these phones. I'm gonna use the new hooks, and it just kind of goes over like that. Oh wait, yeah, it's kind of thought this was gonna happen. I might put a little. I think there's another little. Yeah, there is. Okay. Yep. I have a funny habit of like going, yeah, we need 1x1s with holes in them, and then a lot of 1x1s without holes in them. There's no reason, unless you're putting stuff somewhere else, like through it. No reason to do that. Okay. Now on the back, how is that attached? That is attached via the canister itself. Okay, so I'm going to Z everything back into place. And then we've got that guy. So this is one of these. So one of these. This is all very loose. I don't like any of this at all. I may have to do another. Yep. Not quite that far up, not quite that far down. Just like that. All right, that looks good. So, main body's done. Where are we? That took about an hour. All right. Following my own instructions. So let's put this guy over here so you can see that stuff has been worked on. Ta-da! And now, I think I want to do the head. The head is a big, literally a behemoth of a thing. And I don't know if I want to... The problem is with these mixel joints, if you try to snap them in while holding other pieces, it tends to fall apart. Cool. Can't wait to see it. But I think that's going to be the best in this case, to try to maybe get the majority of it on, and then I can attach all these little bananas and hooks and stuff on it. So let's see if we can get this done. So let's zoom in a little bit here. There's a 1x6. Now, I don't know that this is going to work because this head is really awkwardly large. So whatever I don't get done tonight, and I'm going to try to get most things done tonight, I am off tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be a great day to work on this kind of stuff. Oh, that's a 1x8. That goes way far in there. All right, so, and then one of these guys. So I don't know if I'm going to stream it all tomorrow or if I'll just, what I should do, and I found the other tile, which I'm going to put that one back over here. No. Did the kitty take your bed? Did the kitty take your bed? Did the jerk cat take sweet princess's bed? My sweet princess got to sleep on the floor. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but yeah, I don't think my shirt will open up that far, but there's a sweet princess. I have this scratch that runs from like here, like that long down my shoulder into my back. And I don't remember it happening, but she sleeps on top of my head like I'm sleeping, and she'll just be laying like right here on my pillow. But she then goes over here and lays in between me and Beth. And occasionally she's kind of splayed out or she's caught in between pillows, and she'll just push against somebody when she's getting up to like move around. And apparently she drug one of her claws just down my shoulder. And I was like, I remember it happening and going, oh, that's going to leave a mark, because you should get a little red mark. Took off my shirt in the morning to take a shower or whatever, and I saw it in the mirror. I'm like, what happened? It's the weirdest thing. So it happened again a little later, and I actually went, ow, that's going to leave a mark, and nothing. It wasn't anything. I'm like, well, I don't understand. Okay, so that's 1x2. Having pets is weird. I was watching Cafe Corner streamer Cece streaming this afternoon, and she was talking about her and her husband wanting to get a farm or start a farm. They have some property that they have right now that they're just going to turn into a farm. I'm like, that's ambitious. I wish you the best. But they were talking about which dog they wanted to get a dog on the farm too. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. I was like, what kind of dog are you thinking of getting? And they're like an Aussie or like a sheepdog, like a blue heeler or something. And they're like, yeah, something like that. I'm like, oh my God, be prepared to spend all your time with that dog. I was like, that is not we just got a dog because we like dogs. That is you've got to work this dog. I don't like that nothing was holding this underneath here. This may be a problem. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. Oh, that's perfect. I know exactly what I want to do for that. So I need a 3. And then if I've got some extra ones of these, I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. Oh, that fits so nice. Okay, perfect. That should keep that on there really well. So this little area underneath here, despite them being my favorite pieces, Bar with 1 L is best favorite piece. Creepy Dave. It is not a good, I don't know why I thought these needed to be dark blue. Unless I was thinking that they needed to be glowing neon blue. Oh, I was going to do a render with these being glowing neon blue. There was nothing holding those on. They didn't have a whole lot of clutch, so I just added a piece under there. And I should be able to, let's see if I can find another piece and add it to, since I already did it. Put it under there like this. It's a black one. And it should hold everything up. Because that 3's got little bars in the bottom of it, so it should be good. Okay. And now, mechanical I want to put the jaws on last. Let's keep building the head up. Okay, so this goes right down Main Street here. Yeah, so this is going to be a super skinny head. But I tried to do some what am I talking about? Some affects being on the 3 wide. Uh-oh. Well, that was weird. Lost my OBS for a second. I'm still streaming, right? Drop frame 0, hour 17. Okay. Weird. 1x8. And then I've got a inverted, or I've got a hinge piece. I use a lot of these hinge pieces as underside greeblings because they look good. And then we've got, okay, I'm gonna have to hide all this for now just to see what this looks like. I'm gonna have to hide this, this. Okay. All right, cool. Thanks. Nope. Hide that. Just 2 2x4 plates, huh? What are you, just 2 2x4 plates? Do I amuse you? Studs on either side, and then 2 more of these. The good news is, despite it being a certain size, it's still not big enough, or it's not too big that a lot of these one stud connections don't still work pretty well. So I'm still pretty happy that it's all kind of still working. All right, so that's not going to be tied together till the top, and I'm not too happy about that, but we'll keep rolling. 6 up top. You can see the head itself is almost bigger than the whole front part of the body, right? And that's kind of the way the machine is. It's like, it's very, once it gets charging at you, that's pretty much it for you. I can't see anything on this side. Okay, well, there's something that's giving me a hint. What is that? 1x4. These are 1x5. Cool. That holds it all together. Some of these sand blues were real expensive or very rare to get. So I kind of dumbed down a few of them because I was like, I don't actually need... in fact, I don't know if I actually have it now. Oh, there it is. A 1x4 piece was like $7, but a 1x3 and a 1x1 was like 30 cents and 15 cents or something. I'm like, that's so weird. But it does exactly what I needed it to, which is basically sit on top of something else. So I mean, it's not a huge thing. Oh, excuse me. The sushi from earlier is not treating me well. Needed 2 of those. It's 1x2s, huh? All right. Well, where are they? Don't make me go get more of these. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get more of those. Black ones. Again, this is the inside of something. Only I'm gonna know that it's not right. Well, there's one. Hey, the cat left your bed. You can come lay in your bed. He went to go lick his bowl for some reason. Weirdo cat. I'm hungry, so what I'm gonna come do is lick this bowl that's empty, that's been empty for 6 hours. Because, you know, cat. Bother. Do I have it over here? No. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be cleaning the pet fountain, doing some laundry. That's so crazy. I got the sand blue 1x4 tile for like $15 off Lego pick. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it was either it was really expensive or the shop that I was getting it from was overcharging. I'm not saying that one of those is not true, but I bet you wherever I was getting it was like, yeah, we'll overcharge for that. Okay, that's that. And that was a lot of what I ran into getting all these pieces, was just trying to find the right combination. All these pieces for these last few things ended up costing me like $160. And it was basically 600 pieces. So it wasn't ideal, but I also didn't want to spend the time figuring out how to part everything out. I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. And like, what shop would get the best, like what combination of shops is going to get me the best, whatever it is. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Does that go on top of that? Yeah, I guess so. So that's partially my doing, is not caring a lot about that. So I think I can get away with doing this now. Yeah, I like seeing parts in one store that are several dollars, and then you go to another shop and that same part is cents. You know, it's like, do you guys not look at the average prices kind of thing? Like, I'm hyper focused on what is the average sale price for the last 6 months. I guess people are just trying to get away with brick. That's a brick sitting in there. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Man, I did some weird stuff on this. Two. What's back here? Is that a speed champion? No, that's a headlight brick. With a... Wow. Okay. I was getting carried away. Goodness gracious. Okay. That's a headlight brick, though, isn't it? Yep. Z. Okay. And then that. So I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be in the game. I want to say that it's a rhino, but it's also like, I feel like it's also could be like a triceratops or something. No idea. I don't know why I got so many of these. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I put 8 in here for some reason. Okay. So I have a feeling I don't need those. Again, here's your other canister. This is a different canister from the other two that we saw earlier, sitting on the back of its... This one's covered by its neck folds. And then there's other canisters on the side here. Right here, you can knock all those off. So, a lot going on here. Don't think anything is there. So, cheese wedge. Yeah, I'm too stinking excited about getting these together. I don't know if I can last tomorrow without... I've got nothing else to do. I've got like one chore that I could do, but that's not going to take all day. I have another chore that I should probably do that may take all day. We suffer from the never putting our clothes away once we wash them. They just kind of sit at the foot of the bed. And I'm guessing a lot of people do that, but we're very protective of Mount Garment. And I think it's become a member of the family. But it also like gets in the way of like the robot running to clean the floors, and it bothers us when we sleep sometimes. And I'm like, can we just do the laundry? And I tried draconian measures like you're not allowed to start any more laundry until all this other laundry is put away. And that doesn't last very long. Because people come home from work and they're like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. And then not doing anything. And then it just sits and sits and sits and sits. So, all right, getting really, really into this now. This head is almost as long as the entire body. You can see that, how big that is. It's kind of dumb. So this is going to be down this whole thing. That's as far down as it goes, really? All right, so let's back all of this out. This led me to believe that this went down farther than that. And it didn't, so I'm a little upset at that. That doesn't go down a little farther. I mean, it made me think that that was going to touch. Did I do something wrong on that? Let's see if we can get a little crunchy with how deep we go on this. Just to see. Oh, yeah, there's no way, man. Suppose if I wanted to go lower, I'd take that 3 plate out. I don't think that's holding in anything. Yeah, that's not integral to anything, so let's... Which it should. That should hold that whole thing together. Let's take that off. And give it something else in its place. So you go find some dots. All right, let's see if this works a little better. Yeah, well, we've got that too. We've got a. So what I tried to do to be nice, and I try to help. I try to set everybody up for success. So I know like my strengths are, like sorting the laundry, not necessarily putting it away, but sorting it. And Beth's strengths are doing the laundry, like getting it into the laundry to wash. Okay. So because there's no, like, I added a piece basically. So that is a little more flush now. Hayden Smith, hello. Make Horus next. Yes, because Horus would be the size of this table. If we were doing it to scale, and I would need so many curved slopes and so many round. I'd need all these round, like these things. I'd need 500 of these things. And you couldn't put them together. You just have them in these big tubes. So it could make these giant arms. But yeah, it could be done. How are you doing, Hayden? I hope you're doing well. Let's just show all now. Move everything back to where it was. I made a change in there, but I'm not super worried about it. All right, so down here, that's all finished. Sides are all done. Let's put in the paneling along the side here. This is a... What is this piece? Oh, goodness. I don't remember seeing that at all. I don't think that piece exists. How big Behemoth are you making? Well, here's the body. And let's snap the head together to give you an idea of how long it'll be. Suppose we could snap the head together now to make it work. It's supposed to be as big as the scale for the... There we go. The tall neck and the... So it's about that big. So the leg joints right here, back leg joints right there. Why did I think I had that piece in sand blue? That must have been skipped. I think I decided that we're going to do light blue-gray instead. I think I just decided that. So yeah, these things are going to have to be reworked. I'm going to take these off for the time being because they don't fit real well, and I'm going to need... Oh, wait. I can just put these on. Hopefully this helps a little bit. I've tried to keep everything to scale-ish. So when Lego made the tall neck, they forced a scale to be a certain size compared to Aloy, compared to also the little watcher that they included in it. So it is a certain size now. So based off that, there was another builder named Hachiroku24 that... I don't know if you guys have built the insects. He's a guy who designed and submitted to ideas the insects. So he's a very, very good builder. He has a Thunderjaw that he built to be, because you can build a bigger Thunderjaw than what we've got built. But his is trying to be the same scale to Aloy as the tall neck is. So it's a little smaller than you might expect. So all of the machines that I've built now are based off of that scale. So everything has to be kind of smaller than a Thunderjaw. with the exception of the Storm Bird, is the same body length as the Thunderjaw, but its wingspan is different. And I can go grab that real quick if you guys want to see it. Let me know in the chat. I showed it early on, but I think it was just Missy was in here. So yeah. So creative license I'm using now instead of sand blue corner pieces. I'm going to use dark gray because I have more of these, and I feel like I probably decided that sand green was too expensive. Looked at the price list and went, you know what? Not worth it. But apparently, sand green ingots are fine. No old gray. Hi, James. How are you? No old gray? No, I've got two old grays. There's an old dark gray and a new dark blue gray and a new dark blue gray, or dark gray and dark blue gray. Trying to build one-handed. It's not working real well. I don't really have a whole lot of dark gray in here. Here's some dark gray. There's some old dark gray. But I also have ordered 2 newer gray if I want to use these instead. I don't remember what parts these are for, honestly. I didn't think they were in this model, but I had them in here somewhere. I don't see it. Stray piece over here. I don't know where that went. What that was for. That was to here. Okay. Is there anything under that? Nope. Okay. So yeah, the Behemoth head is massive in comparison to the rest of its body, and I'm really hoping that I figured that I got the center of gravity thing sorted out, because if not, it's going to have to be a bit of a redo. And I think even with the dark gray in here, it looks good. So, on the right track. Using pliers and drills on Lego, just playing around, taking things apart, which shouldn't be. Is this for your giant tower? Are you like drilling holes and stuff to make sure it's stable and whatnot? All right, so that's the front of the head. I'm liking it so far. So the center of gravity is still right about here. I'm way off camera. Sorry about that. Center of gravity is right about here. So with the front legs being here and the back legs being over here, I think we're still good. So this canister adds a lot to it. All right, so what's next? I don't want to put... there's so many little things in here. Let's do... I kind of want to put some of these on after I put the legs on. So let's work on some legs. Let's see if we can put this guy down for a hot second. I'm going to go get... I'll be right back. I'm still kind of heckin' proud about this. So this is, you can see the size when I'm holding it up in front of my face. This is the Stormbird that I built yesterday, a couple days. It is heavy enough that these click hinges in its shoulders, those big knee joints, mech knee joints, if I hold it upright, they will move out of position. So it's a pretty heavy build. It's mostly tech balls and mixel joints farther out. You go on the wings. It's a double joint here in the body. It's got 2 joints here in the head. I really like the way the head looks. It's got a, this all can move. It all can move. I'm not saying you should move it. It sits really good on its little stand that I built. And I like the pose that it's in, so I'm just kind of leaving it. This can be turned ever so slightly. Nope, not even gonna touch it. These like orange cable flex tubes things are kind of holding some of the looser joints in place a little bit, which helps, but you have to twist, you had to twist them to get into the certain position. So you can kind of see how big that is. Again, I tried to pattern the entire design off about that size. You can see the little beak opens up. So it's got a openable mouth there. And the legs, you see how how heavy that was? But because it's a rotational this way, if it's like this, it's not too bad. But yeah, the head moves around. It's got all the necessary pieces. So I'm still very excited about that. The legs do move. They're all very functional. But I like the position that it's in, and I'm just going to leave it in that, and it'll be fine for a display. I just have to figure out how to display it about this high up above everything. So it's either going to be a lot of very thick trans bricks coming up, or I got to figure out, somebody had mentioned doing a boom over the top of it. So we'll have to figure that out. And again, I did the other handful, the long leg and the Ravager and the Grazer and the Charger and Broadhead. I think that was it. I also did a Scrounger. Scrounger's technically not until Forbidden West. But I did it anyway, and I don't know why I ordered the pieces for it. So I'm like, well, there's that. All right, we're going to do the legs. So let's put this guy here. And let's look at some leg action here. Give me a little leg action. So again, this was a little, I'm not really sure this is going to be great, but... and again, mixel joints are weird because you kind of have to get a little more play in this than I thought I was going to get. It's not bad. You kind of have to put them in before you attach anything else, because otherwise they are hard to snap in. But I do like them because they have a lot of friction for their size. The problem with their size is I think builders like I do tend to overuse them for things. And they can get taxed very easily. So I'm going to try to do this simultaneously, see if we can build both legs at the same time. Okay, not really structural there. So James is drilling into Lego, like you do. Other than this, I haven't been doing a whole lot. I've been doing the scenery for all these guys. My Mars base is done. Oh, there's a new ship. Bad Batch, there's a new ship. Does anybody in the chat, let me know if you're watching Bad Batch and don't want something ruined, because I want to talk about something. But if you're watching it, I don't want to ruin anything. And you haven't caught up is my thing. That's all I want to know. So much of what is being built on a lot of these animals that I have are aesthetic. There's no reason for them. They just look good. This dot right here, there's no reason for it. It just looks good. A lot of these machines have almost tendon-like qualities. Plate 1x2. And I was trying to capture a lot of the tendon-like qualities. What is that? I can't even see what that is. Okay, that's that. Oh, it's this hinge. Okay. I was like, what is going on? But they have these machine muscle fibers that are kind of gold. But they're also like oddly iridescent in that they shimmer. And sometimes it looks yellow, and sometimes it looks gold, and sometimes it looks blue. So a lot of this is trying to capture what I think it looks like. But I'm also basing a lot of this off of the game itself, where other people have taken photos, or I've gone back into the game and looked at it and decided, yeah, that's probably a yellow, or I can get away with maybe making it look a certain way. So, is that a 3 or a 4? 4. So if something doesn't work, or if it gets too heavy, or if I don't think it's going to hold up, I can 100% go back and try to recreate a better joint, is what I'm saying. Like, these are probably going to be fine because all they're going to be doing is there's going to be 4 of them. It just has to stand, right? It doesn't have to stand with like a cool mech pose where it's like its hip joints are splayed out really neat and its legs are slightly bent and it's got one gun over its shoulder, where it has to hold a position and be able to move and do a lot of stuff. For my purposes, it has to be kind of posable, but also it just has to sit for the most part. What website do I use for this? Hi, Gloopy Gale. How are you? Thanks for jumping in. What you're seeing right here is what I use to design it. So this is Studio, and you can get it off of, it's a free download off of Bricklink. So the Bricklink site where everyone goes and buys all their loose brick and use sets and things like that. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. This is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to be very careful with this whole contraption. And I might, in fact, take it off, because I can attach it later. This whole canister is funky. I need to figure out something to put in here to keep these separated, because they don't have a lot of clutch power. So yeah, this program is Studio. It is basically a CAD program for Lego bricks. Its equivalent would be like LDRAW or LDD, Lego Digital Designer. This is not great. And this is one problem with using digital designing to try to make a thing, is that in some cases it looks pretty. These aren't going anywhere. Shoot. I'll just leave it like that. I can't pull them. I can't pull this apart, and these aren't coming out. Oh, there they go. Okay. So yeah, it's a free program. It has a database that is built by Bricklink's. It's Bricklink's database of parts, so it's not every Lego piece in the world, but it's also currently more Lego pieces than Lego currently has on their site, because Lego doesn't always keep everything on their site. All right, so I need a piece of advice. I'm trying to think of how to do this. with like given pieces. I'm wondering if I can do this with given pieces. And then to order the parts, I use the same Bricklink site. So I'll design it, and then I'll go through what pieces I have. And yeah, I'm gonna mess with this later. There's got to be a better way to do this. But I don't want to mess with it at the moment. We will keep the canister off. Yeah, they need to be separated about that much. I kind of just wanted something to fill in that space. This may not be the best way to do it, so I'll figure it out. Anyway, they can go under, the canister goes under the legs, under the belly. We can do the work on this without impinging that. Yeah, if you have other questions about Studio, please ask. It's a good program. I like it. I use it daily almost to make Star Wars ships and these Horizon Zero Dawn beasties. I'm missing... No, I'm not. It's already on there. That front piece, which is that guy. Can you get it on an iPad? I don't know if it'll work on an iPad. You can certainly try. Here, let me show you. If you go to the website is bricklink.com. Bricklink.com. And you go to Studio. And if you just do Studio, I don't know why it said it can't do that, but whatever. So it says for Windows, and it's also available for Mac. I don't know what that is. Early access to some, I think just early access to the program. You get 32-bit Windows, 64-bit Windows, and Mac. So probably not iPad, but you can play with it and see. I don't think it's in like the Apple Store, but you can go to the website and try to download it. Best of luck to you. Yeah, it does take a lot of memory to run, and I just don't think that an iPad would be able to handle it. But that's just me. So there you go. I really need to put something in here. This looks really naked in there, but I've got this mixed up. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so legs. Let's do that. It is a fun program, though. It is pretty easy to learn. It's not super complicated. There's not a lot of gotchas. Like, it'll just kind of work. They do like monkeying with it, though, and lately some of their updates are, I would say, questionable. That's made it not work as well, but for the most part, I like it better than LDRAW and LDD. There is an online tool, Mechabricks, that does basically this. MEC Mechabrick, I think. Yeah, so there's a site called Mechabricks. Oh, did it go away? I don't know what happened to Mechabricks. Yeah, I mean, it was there. Maybe they got shut down for some reason. Anyway, they were the online version of Studio. And I think their rendering engine was a little better. People seem to like some of the tools a little better. So if and when it comes back up, you should check that out too. And I do apologize. I'm not going to get through as much as I thought with this build. The Stormbird did take about 3 hours to build on my own, and I wasn't talking to everybody at the same time, so I should be able to finish this pretty soon. And we'll see how it looks once it's all done. That is just those two. Is that just a plate? So I got a lot of these pieces. These are really fun pieces, and I had a ton of them, and they work really well as leg joints. But again, all it has to do is be straight and still, and it, you know, not fall over when it's standing for 4 days. All I needed to do is stand for 4 days at Brick Rodeo. That's all I needed to do. Brick Rodeo, you should ask. What is Brick Rodeo? Brick Rodeo is a Lego convention, Lego fan convention, Lego fan event. Technically an AFOL networking event. Hosted yearly in Houston, Texas, and Austin, Texas. And this year it is in Austin, Texas. And we are hosting it. And it would be great if you guys could come. If you want to try out a new convention that's not crazy full like Brick World, or hard to get to like some of the coasts, depending if you're on the coast or not. So I would highly recommend coming to Brick Rodeo. BrickRodeo.com. I think I need an extra. No, I'm good. When you download it, its own app, or is it somewhere else? So if you're downloading it onto a an iPad, it's probably going to be, if it doesn't, you're going to have it like an APK or something, or jailbreak your iPad in order to run a different app. If you can't get it out of the regular, there should still be like a file system. I don't really work with Apple too much, and I don't remember my iPad, but I think it still will, like if you download something, it should put it just on kind of its desktop. But I don't know. If you're downloading it to a Mac, it'll just go into your downloads folder. Come on. All right. Yeah, it's getting to be 10 o'clock, so I'm going to start signing off. Thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate those of you who came by. If you're new to the channel, I stream every Thursday night at 8 and Sunday morning at 10 Central. So 11 Eastern, 10 Central on Sunday mornings, usually. I try my best to keep up with that schedule, but sometimes, you know, you want to go play trivia, or somebody has a birthday or something. So I will be back on this Sunday, because I don't think we've got anything going on. And I don't know, maybe we'll be working on the Trampler or the Deathbringer or something. But thanks again for coming back. Yeah, you'd have to play with it, or check out the forums or something. Maybe somebody has got it working on an iPad, but I really don't think it's meant for an iPad. It's meant for a little beefier system that has a little more memory, a PC or a Mac. So, yeah, so here's where we got on this. Again, it's going to be just kind of the legs, so I may finish this off stream tomorrow. And then Sunday we'll do another machine. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Easter. I forgot Easter. Sunday is Easter. I'm not terribly religious, so I'll be doing Lego stuff because that's what my religion is, building and collecting and stuff. So I will see you guys on Sunday. I hope you have a good, safe weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.